In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a super easy Halloween queen headband. This is a very quick project. If you need to just throw something on to go trick-or-treating or for a quick party idea, you can make it in just a few minutes. So I have here just some yarn. This is worsted weight acrylic yarn. It's kind of like the value yarn that you see in the craft stores. I'm using some Red Heart Super Saver. If you're not sure if it's the right one, flip it over to the yarn label. This is a medium 4 on the yarn weight scale. It's a little, you can look for the little ball of yarn picture with a number in it. Just look for something similar. You could use bulkier yarn, but just know that your pom-poms will be bigger. So I'm going to just kind of use this all-purpose value yarn for this. And this is black, and I grabbed just some fun Halloween colors. So this is like a bright purple and like a slime green and of course classic orange. I have a pair of scissors. You will need a good, sharp, large pair of scissors like this because we're going to be giving our pom-poms a haircut. And then a headband. I have a black headband. It kind of matched the colors of what I had here. So let's make a pom-pom together. Now, I don't use any special tools for mine. I make my pom-poms in my hand and then I just kind of trim them up. So what you'll want to do is cut a piece of yarn about 12 inches long, just like that, and you want to set it aside, okay? Let's scoot all of our colors out of the way so you can see. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn and we're going to kind of let it drape down the front of our hand, and we're going to wrap it around all 4 fingers 100 times. So every time you kind of pass over your index finger, count that as a wrap, okay? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 98, 99, and 100. So then what we're going to do is cut the yarn. And so let both of those tails kind of hang down, okay? Then what we need to do is grab our yarn. Remember that 12-inch piece of yarn that we cut? We're going to lay that down flat on the table. And then carefully slip your hand out of the bundle that you just created. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to lay it down on the table. So just lay your bundle on top of that piece of yarn that you cut. And then what you'll want to do is tie this really tight. Now, try not to do it too tight. There's kind of a balance here because if you do it too tight, you could snap the yarn and then you kind of have to start over with your strand. And I like to just hold my finger down and keep it nice and tight while I'm tying this. Just try to do the best you can. If you have a helper, that would be even better. And then just kind of snug it down. And then next what we're going to do is grab those 2 tails that you just tied and just kind of plump it up a little bit. Now you have this bundle of loops. So you're going to grab your scissors, and I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see better. You're going to grab your scissors and just cut all those loops. Now be very careful not to cut the band that you tied around everything because that's holding it all together. But you just want to go through and cut all these loops. Just like that. Fluff it up. You might have some more loops. You can sort of dig them out. So now our pom-pom looks totally wild. So we need to give it a little haircut. Now pom-pom making can be very messy work. So you want to do this maybe over a trash can or a bag or something like that. I'm going to do it over this table just to show you. But what you want to do is give your pom-pom a nice haircut. Try to be as neat as possible and get all those strands nice and uniform. This first pass, you're just kind of like getting the excess off. But as you work, you can kind of fluff it up with your hands like so and just shape it up, okay? Just keep fluffing and shaping just like you're giving it a little haircut, okay? Now, you can make your pom-poms as big and fluffy as you want. If you want to do more than 100 wraps, your pom-pom will look denser. And the closer you cut your pom-pom in, like closer down you cut it in, your pom-pom will look denser as well. So if you want little tiny pom-poms, you can give it like a heavier haircut. Okay? So keep trimming your pom-poms, get them nice and shaped up. And then once you get it shaped how you want it to look, we're going to make some more pom-poms in our other Halloween colors. So you can see every time I sort of fluff it, I have some I have some wild strands here. So we want to just keep fluffing and shaping and fluffing and shaping all the way around, just like that, okay? So just keep going around with your pom-pom, snipping. Okay, so then when you're done, you want to keep these two tails intact because we're going to use that to tie them onto our lovely little headband, okay? So as you make each color, just put it aside. And then, like I said, this is much better if you do this over a trash can. And you can save these if you want to recycle them and use them for stuffing something else. So next, move on to the other colors and do the pom-poms for those colors as well. Okay, once you've gotten all your pom-poms done, you can just start tying them right onto your headband. Now, if you want to, you could also hot glue them, but this is really quick and easy. So just go ahead and tie a nice strong knot onto your headband. We're going to trim all these tails in a minute. Now I'd like to do kind of like a light color and a dark color and a light color, kind of alternate them, but you can do them in whatever order you like. This is a very quick little project. So just tie them on, and then as you tie each one on, you can sort of slide it over to the right spot. I'm going to do the orange one next, and if you find a little tail here and there, go ahead and snip that. There's always one that seems to pop up. I'm just going to tie this one. And if you want to do, again, other colors for other seasons, definitely feel free to do that. We're going to tidy all this up in just a second. And then the last one will be our purple. We're also going to kind of center them too. So you just want to just like tie them on really quick. And then we're going to sort of position them. It looks a little wild right now. So we're going to kind of position them. The top of this is where these two join. And you want to, with pom-poms, you want to sort of get them snugged up to one another because they'll look a little fuller that way. Okay. So just slide your pom-poms to where you want them to go. And then the neat thing about it, well, you could sort of let this hang down almost like a veil, but I'm going to trim mine. The neat thing about pom-poms is when you have pom-pom tails, when you trim them up close to your pom-pom, they just sort of, your little tails will just sort of blend in. So you can just sort of trim it on there like that. If you see any long pieces, you know, go ahead and do that as well. And the last one, and then it just sort of disappears. And then you can sort of like, here's a long piece. You can just sort of like roll them to the front once you get them all trimmed and lined up. And that is a cute and quick little headband. Just gonna tidy this up a tiny bit more because you can really see them once they're all in there. And that is how you make the Halloween Queen headband. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure and hit that subscribe button to get all the latest Sparkle and Splatter video updates. Thanks again!